Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just pulled up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you need to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to her. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's all right. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink, because it look like you need it.
One drink? I can do one drink. I can do one drink, because I really, yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
I'm hoping that you can grow, you can find some opportunities to chime in even from your own seat. What's most important is hear our opinions and stories and make your own decisions. Figure out what you would do, how you would handle it, what's going to happen next in your life. And I want you to get crystal clear and make a powerful decision, because once you do, you've got kind of chinks in your armor. Right. So when you get to that situation, you already know how to handle it. You can get right through it. You know?
I agree.
And so we just want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. We always start the show off with a prayer. And I usually do my own prayers.
Okay.
Right? But this is another night that I'm going to do some prayers that that I know are proven prayers.
Ooh, okay.
These are proven prayers.
I like that.
And so again, I usually say my own prayers, but sometimes we need to say the prayers that we were taught.
All right.
We need to say the prayers that became the foundation of our spirituality. Right? And so I'm going to read this kind of fast because it could be a lot, but those of you who are into the Word, you will hear it and you will know it. Let's just hand it over to the Lord. Heavenly Father, we just thank you tonight for your awesome power and grace and love over our lives. We ask, Heavenly Father, tonight that you would establish us in righteousness. This is a confession tonight, Heavenly Father, and I just confess this word, that I am the righteousness of God, created in his image, likeness, and given dominion over the earth. I am the head and not the tail, above, never beneath. And God always causes me to triumph in every situation and circumstance. In Jesus' name, my steps are ordered in God's word, and I walk by faith and not by sight. I walk not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor do I stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of the scornful. But my delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law I meditate upon day and night. As a result, I am like a tree planted by rivers, and whatsoever I do shall prosper. I decree that I am strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, and I have the whole armor of God, and I stand against every scheme and trick of the devil. I am a man of prayer and intercession, and I have the mind of Jesus Christ, and the voice of a stranger I do not adhere to. For my tongue is the pen of a ready writer. I have been filled with the knowledge of God, of God's will for my life, and all wisdom and understanding. I walk worthy of the Lord, and everything I do prospers. My family is blessed in the city and in the field. For every place my soul, the sole of my feet treads, God has given me the land. Wealth and riches abide in my house, and I have the wisdom of God. And I thank you tonight for being here, Lord, and I just ask that you would put your wisdom and inspiration in this show. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Like somebody gonna say something after that. Y'all might as well send an offering.
Hey.
There ain't nothing else to do.
Yeah, that was some good old stuff right there, right?
It said so much.
It said so much. You
that
know?
if you didn't get it, all you got to do is go back and hear it again.
Yes.
And if you wasn't praying like that, then you have a template.
Yes.
And that one right there, you can break up day by day.
Absolutely.
And please understand, it's not a perfect way. It's just to make sure you do it.
Right. The key is that you get the word to come from here through your mind and soul and speak to it. Speak from it. You know what I mean?
Say it again.
Yeah, man. Wow, that was a powerful prayer, man. I spend a lot of time reading prayers. And what it does is it helps me when I get to my own prayers. right? It helps me determine how to relate to God and how to ask for stuff if I need stuff. And sometimes I even realize that I just need to ask for Him to help me with my unbelief. You know, there's one passage in the Word that says, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. And so, you know, we just got to stay in prayer. Prayer is the only way we're going to get through. You know, we're going to continue to bring these power prayers. By the way, if you love these prayers, we did them at the beginning of every show for the last 5 years. So there's some prayers there to go and take a look at. So let's move on. And I want to get back to what you were talking about, Jay.
All right.
You were talking about excuses.
That I'm tired of.
You're tired of excuses.
Yes,
and,
I am.
And I think what will happen, and this is for everybody, right? That if you have moved through life accomplishing things, you have just had a life that somehow you've just been able to continue to accomplish and overcome and accomplish, solve the problem and move on, and solve the problem and move on.
Right.
You don't have any tolerance for people who can't do that.
I've learned, yes.
It just comes down to that. You have no tolerance. The guy who's been running his business 20 years will tell you, I have zero tolerance for people being absent or people being late to the job. And when you are absent and when you are late to the job, I'm going to have to get rid of you, because you're not following the very basics, the fundamentals of success,
right,
and business, you know. And so, you know, Jay, you were talking about your pain with that a little bit, but I'm going to tell you, man.
What's that?
We love C players like we love A players. There's A, B, and C players, right?
That's right.
The A players, you know, get it done, make it happen, best of the best. The B players, you know, really they keep the ground clean. They make sure bases get touched, you know, I's and T's get crossed. And then the C players are those who oftentimes we find ourselves trying to pick up the slack for them, right? They just not making the grade, and they kind of hold the team down. And they may have some values, but you really are never going to experience greatness operating with C players.
I agree.
And it's sometimes to their advantage, whether they see it or not, that you let them go. And you don't let them go, you know, kind of haphazardly, but you have to stop leaning on that. You have to stop leaning on those things. You know what I mean? Your business might be suffering. You know, people who are running, you know, $100,000 and $1 million businesses, and you're constantly having to go back and check on the same thing over and over and over. That's doing nothing but just pulling you down.
Totally. Because I really feel like with communication and you got a team, the more you hold on to a C, you get the A to a B. Ain't nobody want to keep doing their best, and you keep allowing other people not to do their part. And my whole thing is to coach everybody to play right. You know, everybody want to play everybody's sandbox. But over here, when you deal with me, you're going to learn how to deal with somebody else, or you ain't going to be dealing, period. My whole thing is you're not going to be just that great person. One person ain't going to make it. If it was going to be one, it's just been me. I felt a long time ago, I can't do it by myself.
Right.
So I'm going to align myself with great people that have the same ability as me, or even greater than me.
Right.
And we're going to make this thing turn everything around. And you see players is going to get your ass in the stands and watch it. Because you can't keep holding my folks down. And B players going to learn how to be an A player. Because A and B is what I need. C need to see their way out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, C need to see their way out. But I'm going to, you know, I always like to throw in, Jay, this inspiration of empathy for those who don't know. Those who aren't following status quo. Maybe they haven't grown to that level yet. Maybe they just never seen it. They just don't know. Maybe they have good intentions. We're not gonna lean on none of those excuses, right? But those people just haven't found themselves. You know what I mean? Because if you've got somebody who's constantly making excuses, that's a sign that they're not even achieving anything in their personal life.
That might be.
Right? And what they really need is the guy like you, if you have the patience and you could foresee the time,
and I had
to coach and to touch and to hold on and to hold their hand a little bit, and you have, but it gets tired, and if they don't get it and stay in the gap, then you gotta make moves.
You went back to the old show and I told you, iron sharper iron. I'm hitting on wood.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get dull because of you. I got other people I need to sharpen to keep strong with me.
Right.
And you want to be that piece of wood that's going to be away from me. It's not me giving up on you. You just ain't got the ability to understand what's in you. You and your Lord need to sit down and understand the greatness in you. Don't expect me to pull out what you don't understand. I'm not that kind of coach. I'm the coach that can tell you when you see your greatness, we can make great things happen. But until you see it, it's going to be for you to keep on going through that coals of hell. I'm not asking you to continue to go through it. I'm asking you to wake up. If you don't understand what I'm saying, go back 5 years ago when I started this show, when I got off my ass and willing to give back to the people. All the things that I've done, it's not because of the riches, it's because of the openness of realizing what he has for me. Getting to that place. Getting next to people that you see God works through them. When I got next to you, I felt God in you. Because you walked like that. You had the discipline like that. And these are the people that I want more around me compared to the people that are just a pleaser. Don't kiss up here because this don't need to be kissed at all.
Yeah.
I need somebody to understand them, and then we can work strongly together, and we can find ways. America's falling apart. People need to come together. Y'all waiting for a great leader. When do you need to wait to understand what's right? God has it in you. Let's get together, and let's get back to being a great civilization. Not just great US of A. Great people doing great things, not looking for a leader of politics to tell you, which we've been lied to.
See,
let's talk about the stuff that's really true to you.
Yeah, Jay, you know, and I got to use this episode of empathy right now because
give me
because you know I'm in the middle of Minecraft, and I believe I have discovered the answer to mankind's problem. I'm not going to tell it right now, but I do believe that through my work I have discovered it. But here's what's important, right? You have to know, Jay, that people have never been taught excellence.
All right.
And the ones who have been taught may not have just been able to adopt it. Our world is failing because the haves have and the have-nots don't have, and nobody's helping nobody.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
So we got to teach people how to apply excellence. I just say, let's forget all of the stuff that has taken place before. It's too much. It's hundreds of thousands of mistakes that we want to try to fix. Rather than fixing 100,000 mistakes, let's start from right where we are and build a real foundation for going forward. And we can teach excellence. When you can teach excellence in an educational format. You can teach excellence even, I think, in marketing and sales. But if it's not going to happen, the whole environment, Jay, has been bred for followers.
I agree with that.
Right? They've been bred for people who just want to go to work for 30 years and get a check and hopefully get a retirement at the end of that. They don't want excellence. They don't want to go beyond. But that is because they don't know their potential, Jay.
Okay.
If they truly realized their potential, if they believed at all that they could do great things, I do believe the human spirit in them would reach for great things. But they don't believe that. They believe that the world is against them. They believe that they don't have enough time, education, money, opportunity, color, whatever. Right? And so what we're dealing with is we're trying to run a great life and a great business and ask people to help join our visions, but these people who are coming don't know. And there's going to be some of them we're just going to have to put in our arms and walk them down the lane, you know, with training wheels for a little while. Let's have some empathy on some of those people. Yeah. And I know what you're talking about. I'm not talking about the disgusted people who they're just radically off the mark. They're never going to come back. I'm talking about people who just might go the extra mark if they could feel some love, if they could feel like somebody cares, if they could feel like somebody, you know, wants them on their team.
I got you. And I'm going to do it on this one. And I'm going to tell you, if you just want to work for 30 years, come over to Camo. Camo Dumpsters got you. If you just want to work, because I'm working within excellence anyway. But I will give that person an opportunity. And I will make sure you have a good life. Because my whole thing is I'm not for the effery. I am giving people back what was given to me. I've been through my own hells, and I ain't care to give it back. So if that's all you want to do, I have a home for you, okay? Just understand the people that's above you is the people that want to work with it excellence, and I want to give them a better place too. So if you are in between, I got somewhere for you. If you are in the place of a B that want to be an A, I got a place for you. But again, that C is driving things to a bottomless part that I don't care. So only thing I can say
is, but
as I want to teeter on some things. I want to teeter on the A and the B. Because if I let too much of anything else filter in.
I know, but all I'm suggesting is that what we cannot do is throw people away.
I'm not throwing them away.
I get what you're saying. You got a goal to
I'm making them a customer. Yeah. They can call me. I can get them a box. I can get them whatever else they might need.
Yeah, they just can't work.
They just can't because you're going to bring down my team.
Right.
My team is out to win.
Yeah, and you can hear me on the spiritual platform, and you can hear Jay trying to get that paper, and we all on the same page. Really,
we are.
Yeah,
without hurting.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So it's time for us to take our first break, and we hope you folks are enjoying the show. We're going to play a Minecraft clip, and we'll be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this.
Segment right there. I like that, man. It fits right into where we was just talking. And one of the things I always want to say, I want to get hats back off Craft. Like, yo, we got to be showing a lot more empathy and sympathy. And I agree with them to a degree. But a lot of times when I go off, it's not personal. But one of the things I don't like is when I don't see us doing better. When I start seeing us sliding back, that backslide, I'm one that wants to push forward. Yeah. And I want to push that C to a B. I do.
Yeah.
But if I don't want to give you an excuse of what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Yeah. That's the only difference I was trying to say.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things I want to just deliver here on this, that you ain't got time to play around with C players, right? We all know that. Everybody know you don't have time to waste time, right?
Right.
But if you have a C player who is committed but not competent,
okay,
you can work with them.
Yes, I can.
Because you can make them competent, but you can't make them committed.
I sure can.
And so those people who are committed but not competent, what they need most is care. And they need the people side of the business. And if that, I don't know if that offers any value for you, but they need maybe a little more one-on-one. Maybe you need to sit them down, look them between the eyes, and just give them some encouragement and see how that manifests. And then you can determine their level of commitment. You can start to see.
When I took this position, I fly in all the time. If I don't fly, I drive. I want to make sure they put eyes on me. I want to make sure they know that somebody cares about them.
Yeah.
And that's why I do what I do. I mean, I'm all over the place, and I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm looking back for. I'm looking for that same commitment.
Yeah.
If I'm willing to go here, there, and still do what I've been doing. Been doing this going on 6 years. I didn't stop. I'm not trying to. But one of the things, if I'm committed to continue doing excellence and trying to bring out the best even out of a worse situation, I can't keep playing. I can't keep thinking that everybody's going to be a certain way. I want to make sure y'all understand what a commitment is. And when you fail it, understand it. Because failed commitment happens. We do our men's meeting all the time. There's a time that I ain't even have an assignment. I owned it, though. And when you don't own it, all you doing is giving an excuse. Everyone has them. My whole thing is to get back to realizing when I go to that next meeting, I'm going to have it. You know why? It means something to me. That's what I want to make sure people are showing. Make something happen. Show meaning behind things. And I promise you, people like me is like, yo, I can stand there. I see the truth in you.
We can see it.
I can believe in you.
Yeah.
So now I can speak for you.
Yeah.
But without that, I don't have much to work on when I'm dealing with a lot of gray.
Right.
Take me out the gray. Show me the black. Show me the ink, baby.
They say, I learned this 30 plus years ago, excuses are tools of the incompetent. and those who use them build monuments of nothing and seldom achieve anything. And I've had them in my head for years. It's one of the reasons I try with every fiber of my being to never make an excuse, because I just know the the diminished value of it. There is no value in excuses. You make yourself look bad when you give them. If you didn't get the work done, say you didn't get the work done. You know, face the madness, and then go hard and get it done and make it right. But don't keep not getting it done. Right?
It's hard for me to look at you and say,
right.
It's hard for me to look.
You lose trust every time you don't get it
all
done.
Day long.
So,
and then you won't be around.
So tonight we are talking about, can you date without sex? And I don't know, Jay, what you think? Can you date without sex?
Can I date, or can I be in a
No,
relationship?
date. No. Answer the question. Can you
I date
without sex?
Yes. And I know a lot of people gonna be in my DMs.
So
calm down. Hey, shorty.
What are they gonna say in your DM, Jay?
Oh, anyway, listen. I can date without it because it's dating. Dating means I'm trying to get to know you, and that's when I am in a point where it shouldn't be the number one thing I run to. I'm trying to figure you out, so I need to know if there's a vibe.
Right.
So when I'm dating, you know, I'm not just looking for sex. I can't say I'm not wanting. My whole thing is, besides that, what am I getting?
Yeah.
Who am I dating?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Yeah.
Is there anything here other than just sex? Is it just that? Is it just a smash and pass? I like to know what it is. That's what dating gives me. It gives me an opportunity to understand a person and what a person might be seeing in me.
Right.
They might just be using me for money. They might be using me just for that.
Right.
And again, it gives me a fair playing field before I can figure out where that lies.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Have you ever had a scenario where you refrained, you intentionally kind of refrained from sex so you could get to know someone?
Yes. I had one that was pushing forward with it, a nice looking woman, where I really wanted to, but she was saying some things and she was talking at a manner where I felt like it was, I didn't feel like she did. She was about to put me in a committed relationship very quickly.
Yeah, okay.
And
now
that was going to solidify when I did that.
When you had sex with her.
Right. And now my whole thing is, before we solidify, you have a lot of expense. She made a lot of money and she had a lot of debt.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is this why you might be pushing this so much on me? And again, I was a person that was making good money then. So I got leery because, I mean, this woman dated some very popular people that was making a lot of money without throwing names. So when she was pushing this on me, I'm like, well, you good. You don't need my little money, you know what I'm saying? You good with yours. And she's like, yeah, but I want you to go here with me. You want to travel with me. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, you want me to. But it's something else behind this because you can get anybody to do all that.
She's saying stuff that's leading you, right?
And I understand lead. I mean, I've been out here on a single game for a minute, so game recognized game. So I was like, okay, this don't really sound that great. So when I'm pulling back, it made her get more aggressively harder.
Okay.
Now, anybody that knows when a person gets more aggressive and you ain't had sex with them, imagine what it's gonna be like if you had sex.
Hey,
with
listen,
them.
That's an automatic.
So,
that's an automatic right there.
So you can understand it when you understand the game. And like I said, we were dating. Now, can we still talk to this very day? Yes, why can't? Because we never went that far. My whole thing is I still can't tell you exactly what her whole plan was. I pulled back.
But you felt like she was trying to lock you down.
I felt like she was, but I felt like the lockdown was for other reasons than just I just want you.
Like what? Like
I'm not for sure. I couldn't put.
Couldn't put your finger on it. Yeah.
And then she never allowed me to go all the way in to figure it out. But I think by that time I've been caught up.
And listen, we may never figure it out, but what awesome reasons? Just across the board, what awesome reasons?
Two?
Yeah.
I would really tell you what not to more than to do, because I'll tell you just to do is more of a drive. I'm
just thinking about so you're dating a person and you're refraining from sex, right? But you're feeling like she's pressing the issue, and you why would she want to press the issue? Maybe is she lonely? Does she need money, or
if she was talking to me about it and she wasn't pressuring me, would probably give me a better feeling too.
Okay.
All right. All the stuff of pressures of lonely and all the rest of that insecurities. And those insecurities will make me pull back.
Showing insecurities. That's
Because
good.
I'm nervous about all your insecurities because it can be detrimental to our relationship if we get into a monogamous one.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it goes left of center and went from a happy day to a bad day.
Yeah.
And then again, if I see you're looking for me for a happiness that I feel like is a void in you, that scares me as well because I've been there.
Yeah.
So obviously I don't always look for it because I really like the happiness in the person. So I excite you and we're happy talking with each other. I'm like, okay, it's something there. But then I see, no, you make me so happy with you doing this and that. And I'll be like, yeah, but you seem like, not really. I've been through this. And so now I'm starting to unpeel the onion. I'm starting to see there's other things here.
Yeah.
So it's not just about me.
You know,
I'm
man,
making you something that you need to get healed on your own. I can't fix everything.
Yeah.
But I want to understand to see where we go. Yin and yang, understanding.
Yeah.
That's very important in the dating aspect before we get into a serious aspect.
There you go. I recall, Jay, I went off to college, University of Florida, right? And
FAMU.
And no, this was before I got to FAM. I went to another college, right?
Okay.
And so I was on campus for probably about maybe a month and a half, right? And so one night, me and my roommate, we was out on the soccer field, just watching the team practice and stuff, and has met this young lady, and she was a real nice girl, So we started talking over the next few days, At about a week, we had a couple of dinners. She ended up at my house on a Saturday. Next thing you know, I'm going in, right?
We all know what that means.
So, right in the middle of sex,
right.
She looked up at me and she said, "I love you." And she said, "Promise you won't hurt me. Promise you won't hurt me. Promise me." She had grabbed my face. She was like, "Promise me, promise me." And I'm a young man. I'm in the middle of my groove.
Tearing it up.
I was like, "I promise."
You give it in at this point.
Listen, Jay. Ended up with her for 3.5 years.
Woo, because you promised.
But because I kept fighting for the relationship. But if I would have taken more time, if I wouldn't have had sex that weekend, maybe the next weekend, I would have learned enough that I probably
made a better decision. But you know something? I honor you.
I got sucked in.
I honor you because even though you got sucked in and you made that promise, because I like to say when you're in the midst of it, I could understand what you said.
I was on third gear.
Right. You can't put that bad boy in reverse when you going forward.
Right.
This is gonna tear the whole transmission out.
Right.
So when you in that moment, you say things. What I really appreciate is you honor it just as you said it, because I'm there. I'm with you.
Well, what turns out is she was just a beautiful person. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things I liked about her anyway. She was a beautiful person, but she had some stuff that I didn't know about, and I really couldn't see all of it for a little while as normal. And when I got to see those things, it really turned me off. You know what I'm saying? It really turned me off in the relationship. But there was one of those scenarios where, I'm just supposed to be dating. I ended up having sex, and now, probably because of the nice guy syndrome, I ended up in a relationship. And I loved her, you know what I mean? But I just got there, man. It was like thousands of women that I had to meet.
What you say? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was the word.
I hadn't even figured out the right way to clash yet. So, listen,
I need to listen to this. This will happen to somebody.
I love what you said, though, Jay, that it's a time of getting to know one. And if you take the time to get to know them and you introduce sex, it's going to change the getting to know them.
Yes.
It's going to dramatically sometimes change the getting to know them. In fact, and there are a lot of women who got a rule like, we have a sex, then you my man. And I'm like, wait a minute,
we ain't talking about that.
Yeah.
You can't just throw that on me.
What you say? We didn't talk about
that. No.
You got to bring that up. You got to bring that up ahead of the schedule.
That's called a contractual agreement. Hold on. We didn't write that.
Yeah, no verbal agreements. No verbal contract.
Talking about just because you hit it automatically, that's in your head.
Yeah. I
don't know where you got that from.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it out quickly.
Yeah.
Once I get this out, just understand that's off the plate too. And again, that's one of the things that you got to be more clear of, and that's something that we don't always do. And that's why I said dating can be a very important part because it's the early stages.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say it's just hoeing. You can blame it on anything you want, but it's one of the earlier parts that you gotta get to know a person for you to figure out where you want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, do y'all understand? Sometimes some of the greatest sex is actually when you know somebody and you really feel for them in a way that you want to feel for them. So you allow them to do some things. You move with them. It's a harmony, okay?
And listen,
I'm just trying to give a nugget.
I like that, Jay. Let's talk about that harmony, right?
Okay.
How long, should it or does it normally take for the harmony to be just enough to go ahead and have sex with somebody you're dating? When do you turn the corner?
I would be honest with grown people. And I say grown because some people are young. Grown people. And I like to say your hormones all over the place. But a grown person seeing a person and really getting into them through conversation.
Okay.
That right there is in tuning. I mean, listen, frequency, harmony. We are in tune. When I'm listening to you and I'm getting turned on by your voice, I'm getting turned on how you're answering your questions.
Yes.
At this point in my mind, oh my goodness, all the kind of music we can make without even doing the act. I see you in a place where I can be into you. That right there is a key factor.
That's a key factor.
Besides a smash and pass and I'm just horny, this, that, and the other. These things are just things that happen. Yeah. But I promise you, when they come to making good music and somebody having an attunement or feeling like, something, he was probably one of the few people that I really got to say did that for me.
And I almost like to leave a legacy with any woman that I date, right? And in fact, I'm gonna tell you about the legacy as soon as we get back.
I'll be trying my best to break their backs.
Yeah.
I'll be trying to go.
You wrong for that. Listen, we're gonna take our final break. I want you folks to stay tuned. We're gonna be right back to More Bar Talk with Jay right after this. Welcome back. And so we're continuing our discussion on can you date without sex. And I was just about to share with you all folks the legacy. All right. This is basically the legacy program, but a legacy treatment, right? In my years, what I learned this a long time ago. I just decided that the woman is going to tell me what she wants. And I'm not going to try to get sex from her. I'm not going to reach. I'm not going to mac. I'm not going to set it up. I'm not going to try to alley-oop. I'm not going to do none of that. All I'm going to do is talk to her and be friends with her and love up on her. And I'll let her tell me when she's ready to do something. And what it has amounted to is I think I have connected more with women across my path. And so, I don't find myself in situations where, I'm pushing for sex because I want sex. And she wants to get to know me and, it kind of challenges the situation. You know what I mean? It may, guys, you don't know this, but when you are pursuing sex, women know it. Right? And if you are over pursuing, sometimes you make, I've seen guys,
just
they make
I want it.
Yeah, you want it right. I've seen guys who were trying to talk to a chick, trying to talk to a young lady or whatever, and they were making these statements, these innuendos, they were saying this stuff, and sometimes they said it 2 or 3, 4 times like they think the girl didn't hear her. But her hearing is much better than ours, I promise you, right? She heard you guys, she just didn't respond. And so that's her telling you she's not ready to talk about that stuff. She's not ready to get involved in that stuff. But if you let her tell you what she wants, I promise you, she will tell you what she wants every single time. And I have never missed the mark on that equation because they will typically say, hey, we've been hanging out, whatever, why don't we do, movie at the crib, hang out. She'll let me know if she want to sit under me or if she want to sit on the other side, if she want to drink with me or not, you know what I mean? If you want to hold my hand or not, she'll always tell me. And so all I do is just receive the love that they have to give,
Okay.
right? And there's always reciprocity in the process.
I'm about to have some fun.
And that's the legacy program, and it always works. I learned that from Morris Day, by the way.
And Morris Day taught you a lot. But have you ever ran into a nympho?
Yeah. Also a college experience.
Yeah. It would change your life.
It will change your life.
It
But listen,
is
ain't
different.
nothing about relationship with a nympho. Not unless you get caught up and unwilling to say no.
You got to be very strong when it comes to that because there's already a demand.
You
put
gotta
there.
be strong. But listen, they're not gonna want to be all lovey-dovey and cuddly.
What?
They typically like getting it in.
Bro,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell you where you're wrong at. Yes, they do. They want to get it in. They want it all the time.
Yeah.
But they also want the other thing because I think sometimes they don't feel fulfilled because they don't get the other side. They only get what they want. So sometimes you got to show them a little bit different because normally they would kind of almost tell you because they're going to tell you that they're on a high sex drive. And normally when a woman tell you that would make a man happy. Hold on before you get happy play because you might not know what you're getting yourself into. Because it might ask for more than what you're willing
So
to do.
let me ask you this.
What's
If
that?
you're dating someone and you recognize or somehow
No, she'll tell you.
come upon the knowledge that she's a nympho, are you dating her anymore?
I would tell you, me all day long.
You would date her?
I'm dating a nympho all day long.
You date a nympho?
Man, I date
Wait,
her.
I thought dating is supposed to be to get to know you.
I am. I'm getting to know her really
So
well.
she, at this point, she's just a cuddy buddy.
No, she passed the cutting buddy. Because she cutting all the time.
Well, you like her or something?
Hell yeah, I like her.
You letting her hold
She
debit-
ain't saying,
you letting her
know
hold
what I'm
debit
saying?
cards and shit?
Who? What? Debit cards. I ain't going that far. Hold on. You know what's on my cards? I'm just saying, what I like about them is just because they don't hold things back. They know what they like. They stated it, and that's what they like. Now, what I notice is when I
aren't
date.
necessarily relationship oriented.
Hold on. But some of the relationship oriented people be like, you know something, if you make I'm mad, I'm not wanting to. Because you done made me mad. That don't happen with a nympho. A nympho, you make a nympho mad, she gonna tell you she mad. And she gonna tell you come on in here because that don't stop nothing. Now I'm gonna tell you, it could be a wonderful thing and it could be an exhausting thing.
It could be an exhausting thing.
But
yeah.
even in that exhaustion, she's giving you so much of her that I ain't gonna lie. It's not a bad thing. It's really not. But what I tell people, just when somebody tell you, take it really for what they're saying compared to what you really want. Because a lot of people hear it and they feel like, okay, well, that's gonna be an easy one.
I have discovered
I don't know about
nymphos. I have never had anybody tell me that they was a nympho.
I'm not gonna lie, I had several tell me and then others show me.
Yeah.
I like the ones
Yeah,
that show me
I've had it
because
show me, yeah.
they keep wanting to. But I've had people tell me I got high sex drive and this is what it is. So again, it's gonna be, and again, your level. Do you make them comfortable enough? I like the fact to say that I talked to them enough that they said that that's what they were because they felt that, hey, I want you to know because of what I'm looking for you for.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, bro.
Yeah,
I promise you, I liked it. I
I'm
kind of
sure
liked
it's
it.
not. You know, I just want to cover, just for the sake of the discussion,
Okay, what's that?
the norm, right?
What's that?
It seems like the norm is, you know, you kind of living life,
Mhm.
and maybe you are, you know, dating, getting to know a couple of 3 people at a time, right?
Okay.
And so you there's one of them who just somehow, you know, gets ahead of the curve. She becomes a little more special than the others, and you know what's kind of supposed to happen, I believe, is you start giving her your attention, and you start spending more time with them, and as you start spending more time, you ain't gonna be able to have too many Friday nights laying around on the couch and not have sex. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to necessarily be doing it, but that's not gonna be able to happen. So you're gonna end up having sex, and so now you've known this person a couple of weeks. You end up having sex. Now you're going together, right? This is what happens in the norm.
Okay.
You're right. This is where a lot of relationships go. That and how they come. And most people will probably identify with this. Yeah, we started dating. We ended up having sex. We ended up going together. Next thing you know, a year later, he ended up
was there a
getting married.
conversation though?
Huh?
Just because I have sex with you does not mean we're in a relationship.
No, it doesn't. No, I'm just trying to talk about the norm, right?
Okay.
And
I want to make sure you understand that in the norm, because some people feel like automatically that's what it is.
yeah, that's not what we're talking about. We're
Right,
just talking
right.
about.
Just wanna make sure.
We're just talking about how normal
Clearly.
people who are married right now. This is the process they went through. They met somebody. A couple of weeks later, they had sex. They might have had sex the first night, and they start liking each other. They start dating. Next thing you know, they were sexual partners for a while, and then they got engaged, and then they got married, and they don't have a relationship.
I'll go with that.
Here's my question. I'm trying to find the disparity in this dialogue, right?
Okay.
Because you end up having sex in the first date, or in the first couple of weeks, or in the first month, in the first short period of time, does that minimize your ability to continue to get to know this person? And so you're going to be operating off of a false understanding of this person to much degree, because the pole will calm down all the issue. You know what I'm saying? The pole vault. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? You could be having major problems and have sex and somehow just keep meandering through and never address the issue, but you keep having sex, right? You keep putting these Band-Aids on it, and next thing you know, the Band-Aids aren't enough. I'm wondering, is the normal way of meeting and having sex early in the game and end up in a relationship, is that the issue with so many people ending up in divorce?
I like to say it's going to be more than that. I feel that it's going to be more than that. The reason I can say that is I've had people that I had sex with early on, and the relationship lasted for years. What normally happens is when you don't respect or you don't listen.
Yeah.
These are key factors that's happening in relationships, in dating, and all the way around. Key points. If a person meets you and they ask you for help, I don't even know you. You're giving me flags. If you take, I need to pay for this or do that, you're giving me flags. So then you wonder why I pull away from you. I'm going to ghost you quickly because you're not showing me any qualities that I want within a person I want to be with. Because I told you, I like to be with a person that sharpens me. A person that's asking me for stuff all the damn time is dulling me. Because it ain't about money on my side of the tracks. My whole track is a person that's going to sharpen me before I can make more money, before I can give more, and then we can do some things. But everybody can't do that. But I've ran into great people. You know, in the last several years of my life, I ran into great people that sharpen me, and then they enhance me, and then they want me. So when you get this, oh my gosh, it gives you that whole great fulfilling, and that's what keeps me more on the excellent side compared to this stagnant, because you don't need to be stagnant. So I like to say it's going to be different for different people.
Everything is going to be different for everybody. I think there's potentially billions of different ways. But we see the common ways that men and women come together in relationships, and sometimes they're short courtships and sometimes they're long courtships. But you know, the reality of the relationships are the same. You got to get to know. You got to start giving. You got to start helping. You got to start supporting. You got to start being a team player. You know, you got to start getting out of the box. You can't just be who you are. You got to be potentially maybe what the other person might need you to be a little bit, and they got to be what you need them to be. Right? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of give and take in that, in that getting to know you and, entering into a relationship. I had a question here.
What's that question?
If someone says that they can't date without sex, what does that say?
Narrow-minded.
Narrow-minded?
Because that's all they want.
Yeah.
It's a direction.
Yeah, and it really kind of suggests that, hey, I'm just not looking for a relationship. Hey, listen, this is the mood that I'm in right now. This is the mode that I'm in right now. I just got out of a relationship. I ain't trying to be in a relationship. So, when I date, in this part of my life, when I date, I need, somebody who I can date and have sex with.
Right. But
which is a real shallow way to look at the world, but it happens.
But I'll also say, because myself, I didn't care to be in a monogamous relationship, and I didn't want a relationship. But please, to everybody that want to come for me and attack me and think that I don't believe in the Institute of Marriage and the rest, let me help you out real quick. Until you get healed from some of the things that you went through, quit running back into shit you call yourself good at. If you're so damn good, you'll be into a situation better than where you were. I understood I had some faults in some of the things that I did, so I took some time to myself because I wasn't going to run back and continue doing some bad behavior. Now, that's me, ownership of what I did. So don't come for me and tell me where I need to be or don't. My whole thing is just understanding my growth and my pattern and what I do. And also, how I treat you. I'm never going to treat you in a way that you don't want to be treated. But please understand, that treatment is how I feel I want to do for you. That's why I can open people up to do some things, because I'm not going to go by a bylaw of what somebody else told me.
Yeah, and
but
you know what? That's
things
good.
were sold into me.
That's good, Jay, because I don't know how to treat a woman but one way.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
With love and respect. You know,
And
that's the only way I know how to treat them. But oftentimes it gets misunderstood.
As a good guy.
Yeah, it gets misunderstood, and I don't know. Maybe they start to think they can take advantage, or maybe they start to lean on the shield
Because that's what they heard.
Yeah,
But see, they need to understand, everybody don't have that. Everybody want an alpha male. There's some beta male. There's some other things, because you keep saying what you want, but you don't even know what you want. That's why they don't need to mess with you. They need to understand they need a strong person that's willing to give these qualities, but they don't know no better. It's like what you said, you got to have a little bit of empathy for them, because they don't know no better. All they learn is from what they learn around them. Their environment never taught them about a person like you.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to treat
Let me ask you a question, Jay.
What's that?
Have you ever had a relationship with a woman who, when you look over your shoulder, when you look in the past and you see that relationship, you was like, damn, she was a good woman. She was probably a keeper. We just had sex too early. Have you ever had a situation where you think having sex probably hindered the opportunity for the relationship to go forward?
No.
No? Okay.
I ain't had none too early. Give it to you, never. No. Not too early. Never. Not one time.
That's truly a man's answer.
I'm like, if it didn't work, it didn't work. It wasn't because of what you did. It's probably what you didn't finish doing. You were good at, but it was.
That's a man answer right there. Never had sex too early.
Yeah.
Okay.
I quit you because of other things, dude. I ghost you for a reason. You just wasn't on season.
That's good.
But
I'm choked up. I can't even talk.
But I mean, it is, and
Right.
it's one of the things
That's
somebody
good.
say. How soon? I really feel like it's not about the soonness; it's about the understanding of the person. I really feel like a lot of people want to say, if you wait, you understand. Please understand, it's the communication. If I talk to a person for months over the phone, and we didn't always do FaceTime, but we talk, and we have a vibe. So when we meet, they kind of know you because of the things that you talked about, especially if you're honest. Please understand, honesty. You honestly told her really about you, not just your best. You talked to her about everything.
Yeah.
So at that point, she kind of feels that she knows you. So if she chooses to do you at that point, it's because she feels that she know you. So she would let her wall down to understand more of the person that she want to get into. So that is your communication and skills that you might have.
Communication.
And I might get on the first night, but it's not because I just met her.
Yeah.
It's because I communicated with her. She knows.
So what if, and she is Mrs. Wright.
Okay.
Mrs. Wright.
All right.
Said that she just want to wait a year or wait until until you get married to have sex.
It's not a problem. I'm gonna go to seller's piece. I'm gonna sell this. He was like, yeah. I'm not. Listen, my whole thing is I don't play around.
You're not in that.
I'm not into the person. I'm not. That's not me. If her belief is that's what she need to do, I will probably let her know that's not for me.
And you're not the right guy for her.
Right. And I don't want to make her wait on me, or feel like I'm gonna change for her. But I'm not gonna make her give up.
And I think what you're hearing is a grown man, you know what I'm saying, who just have decided that, it ain't worth waiting.
And not just not worth waiting. I feel like I can respect her choice.
Okay.
And I really feel like by her speaking that, I should be able to receive it and then respect it back, instead of forcing somebody to do something other than what they want to do. It doesn't make no sense just to get it just to say I got another notch on my belt. when you're destroying a person because they honestly believe in you and then you don't believe in them, because their tradition shouldn't be broken off of my greed. I have to respect their tradition. Their tradition is this is how we do it. If you don't want to hurt a person, don't go against their tradition.
Yeah,
and that's why I said,
and that's a great way to look at it. I got a feeling for some of the women, it might strong arm them in to go ahead and have sex. And
I don't know how it's going to strong arm when I'm saying I respect it.
I know, but they don't want to lose you, so they'll just go ahead and give you the sex.
Well, my whole thing is,
so
they don't mean that's going to keep me.
I know, but
help them out.
But they damn sure ain't going to try to lose you, not giving you the sex.
Well, they might not want to lose me, and you might keep me as a friend. Because I can still respect you as a woman because you got traditional values.
They don't give a damn about that after you go.
You know something?
If you go on out of their life, you don't care.
Well, first of all, I ain't saying I'm just gonna be. I'm not be in their life for a sexual reason.
Right.
Why go against that tradition? So my whole thing is understand a person, respect people, and then they can respect you back. Because you never know how we might run across each other later.
Yeah.
She will respect the fact that you ain't never forced me to do a dang thing. So guess what? At this point, I done did what I said I wanted to do. I married him, and now that it didn't work, I want you because at least you didn't disrespect me.
Okay.
And that's a higher level of what should be done compared to a lower level of my greed.
There you go. There you go. All right, it's time to close out this show. This has been Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And of course, we hope you enjoyed tonight's program. We are here every Thursday from 7 to 8, Facebook Live.
Yep.
We're on every major platform. Please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends and family, and continue to come back and get some of this great wisdom that we speak every week. We love you folks. We appreciate you. And with that,
we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.